This video is aimed at the premiers of the states and Scott Morrison, in good reason. Since this pandemic, which is purely and simply fear and control, which is what you're doing, and don't say it's anything else. And a message to you, Scott Morrison, and all the rest of you COAG members, because that's what the national cabinet is. All the COAG members. Isn't that interesting? Because you stood down all the parliaments. Because you think you're going to control this country by threatening. Oh no, we're not threatening. Yes you are. You're threatening arrest, which is violence. And that's exactly what they do. Inflict violence on the people. But now, interesting thing has come out. It's come out that this virus is susceptible to heat and the sun. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because in March, April last year, you, Scott Morrison, were advised, so was the Federal Parliament, of the impending virus coming to this country, or the risk of it coming to this country. And you did nothing. Nothing for the people, nothing for the country, but everything for yourself. What did you do for yourself? In the middle of that fire crisis, I couldn't figure how somebody who professed to be a Christian could pack up his family and leave the country. Your excuse was for the safety of family. You're worried about the safety of your family. Yeah, of course you were. But not from attacks by the people, because you were quite well on all the surveys. What it was is you got out of this country because you knew that virus was coming. In fact, I'm not going to call you sir unless I spell it C-U-R. You knew. You did nothing. You were advised by the CSIRO several times by email through last year that virus was coming. What did you do? You left the country. You have never got to all the people who got burnt out in those fires. You've done 3/5 of nothing. You still have not taken the stolen property, being the water, back off those foreign countries. Why not? The same reason why they weren't all locked down. Why they didn't have to stop trading. And that's exactly what's going on. You criminals, and that's all you are, is a criminal. You knew everything that was going on. But it's not a pandemic. How do you have a pandemic when 26,000 people died of the flu last year in this country? And so far 67 have died in this country. And most of those are elderly and infirm, some with heart, liver, kidney, lung diseases, and ongoing medical conditions. And very old, some of them 85, 90 years old. And we heard last night from the Italian Prime Minister that all the figures in his country were nothing but a pack of lies. And he was having them investigated. So how's that going to work for you, ScoMo? Don't tell me you were told it and you believe in the people who told you. No, you're a liar. You wanted this pandemic to get control. So what did you do? First you let all the Asian students and foreign students leave this country, go back to their own countries. I get that. So they should for Christmas, because they didn't know there was a virus coming and we hadn't been told yet. Then, but you knew. Why then did you let them come back? You not only let them come back when people said you shouldn't do it. China said, oh yeah, well, suddenly they're not going to trade with us if we don't let their students come back to our country. Why would they if they knew they were going to bring the virus back? And they knew too. You said initially you were going to send them all to Christmas Island for a period of time to make sure that they were safe in quarantine. You were going to do this, you were going to do that, you were going to do the other, but you never did. The only thing you made sure is we ended up with a scabby ship, and a couple of scabby ships, because they were full of people sick in Western Australia. We didn't have any cases till then, except you made a big deal out of it, and where you made the mistake, you think everybody isn't observant. Where did you get the film of the Chinese guy, the old Chinese gentleman, getting on a plane in Melbourne, getting off in Perth, and then going into the hospital, and he died, according to you? I don't think he died of that disease. I think he died of probably heart, liver, kidney, whatever. He was a very old gentleman, but we'll never know because you're not going to tell the truth. But at the end of the day, why did you film him? Why was he a point of interest? Or was it just a setup for you, which is what it is, a setup, a con, and people can't see it. Now, you have been exercising authority through COAG. 1999 we said no to a republic, and you're trying to give it to us. No to COAG, and you're trying to enforce that on us. In 2015 you actually passed a law giving yourself all these powers under the Health Act, which you don't have. You have no authority, Scott Morrison. You are the foreman of the Parliament, but not a very good one. At present you're just a lying traitor. Now, this is fact. Get this? You say you are the executive government. Your green constitution says you're executive government. The power to make an executive order, such as for the general public coronavirus control, doesn't exist for you. Section 61 of the Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK and our Constitution, same section. Executive power. This is the power that COAG is operating under. The executive power of the Commonwealth is vested in the Queen and is exercisable by the Governor-General. You're not the Governor-General, stupid. We haven't got one. We've got David Hurley and he's just a fraud. And it goes on and says, as a Queen's representative, and extends to the execution and maintenance of this Constitution and of the laws of the Commonwealth. You understand what that means? You don't have any executive authority, you stupid little donkey. You have nothing. You're a liar, you're a fraud. Only the Governor-General can exercise that authority. Section 68 of the Constitution says very clearly, he looks after the military, him only, on behalf of the Queen, because it's the Queen's military, and that'll become apparent in a sec. Now, this is the nice one. Section 69 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK and our Constitution. Transfer of certain departments on a date or dates to be proclaimed by the Governor-General, no one else, after the establishment of the Commonwealth. The following departments of the public service in each state shall become transferred to the Commonwealth. That's our Constitution, states that. Then it lists posts, telegraphs and telephones, naval and military defence, just like 68 says, lighthouses, lightships, beacons and buoys, as the law says, and quarantine. Now, you two, or you bunch of slimy maggots, and I'm talking about the premiers of each state and the so-called Prime Minister, where you get the power to quarantine anybody anywhere in this country. You don't have it. It can only come from a proposed law by the Governor-General through the Executive Council, which you're not. Have nothing to do with the Executive Council. Because when you read section 68, or 61 to 68, the Governor-General selects the Executive Council. Only the Governor-General. He, and not you, dishes out all the portfolios. He, not you, ScoMo. So you're a liar. But you've got a bigger problem. All of yous have, and I brought it up in my last video. And that last video is, we are not the self-governing colony of the British Empire. We are a colony in the British Empire, but we are not a self-governing colony of the British Empire. We are a self-governing colony of England, Great Britain itself, England. We are. We were 6 colonies, military established colonies, which were so corrupt they needed laws, and they needed 9 clauses in the Constitution to wipe out all the lies and false application of false laws created in the lead up to Federation. Now that's a fact. What that means, Scott Morrison, is you are now, along with every Premier, every person involved with COAG, are filthy traitors against the Crown of England. You know that? Filthy, lying traitors, and that you are. Now, you have a problem, because I'm telling you, you are traitors. Under Section 44 of the Constitution, you no longer can sit in our Parliament. You no longer can open that big trap of yours that you blab on day after day after day about what you're going to do, along with the Premier of this state and all the others who say, you're going to get fined this if you go out. No, we're not going to get fined anything. You install lawful governors or shut your mouths. Because any cop who instigates what they're doing will stand trial for treason. Believe me, you will. You're not going to get away with this. This has to stop. If you want to go down in the shop, you can't tell me there's a virus sitting out on the side of the road waiting for your car. Ha! I'll get that guy now. Oh, no, I'll leave that one. I'll get the next one. That's a load of crap. The viruses have a mucus around it. The cells do, and the mucus, the virus sits in those, in that, go back to day dot. The cells have mucus around it, and the virus sits in that mucus, and it's transmitted, and it is susceptible to temperature, so it's just come out from specialists in the world, not lying government trolls, specialists that says it is susceptible to heat, sunlight, and the guy that's ahead in the world in your immune system said all you need to do is get rid of sugar out of your system, get out in the sunlight every day and eat plenty of vegetables and that, and get some exercise, and you stay healthy. You don't need vaccines. And if we need something for this so-called virus, what's wrong with the 32 million doses that Clive Palmer bought of a proven drug that kills viruses? Hasn't been proven it kills that virus, but it's been proven it kills viruses, and corona is a virus, according to yous. According to yous. Therefore, you're lying. Now, you've got a problem, because you've been exercising authority, purporting to pass laws which you have no authority, none of yous. In relation to quarantine, no state can pass a law in relation to quarantine. It's federal can. But that's where you got a problem, ScoMo. No political party, no purported federal government can put legislation together. You have no power. That authority is with the Governor-General and the Executive Parliament. They get a bit of advice from the Parliament, that's fine. The Constitution says so that they can get the things right. 2 heads are better than one, although these ones are all full of crap. But at the end of the day, the Governor-General and the Executive Council puts legislation together. Now when you look on page 791, it says you're not sovereign, and that goes for state and Commonwealth, so you're not sovereign. The Governor-General puts legislation together. You are legislators. You know what that means, ScoMo? Means you get to debate and pass laws. You are the one that liaises between the Governor-General's Council and the Parliament. Nothing else. You have no other job. You don't like that, go somewhere else and get another job, because you're lying to yourself and the people. Now, your problem there is the Governor-General never put any laws together. Hasn't for a long, long time, right back to 1973. Look at that. There is no laws in this country. Doesn't matter how many nut jobs, trolls come on my Facebook page and say, oh, we've become an independent nation in 1919. If you want to prove that, where is a referendum? No one person can sign us out of the Commonwealth and into the League of Nations or anything else. No one person can. Where was a referendum? None. Where was a referendum for local government? We said no. Where was a referendum for a republic? We said no. We've said no to that many things, and you ignore it because you are either thick and stupid. Well, you're stupid because you can't follow the law and you're going to go to jail for life. But what goes through your thick heads, you people, that you think you're above the law? Now you've got a problem. In the next couple of days I'm drafting a letter, and that letter is to go to the House of Lords and the High Court of England, because as of right now, under the provisions of Clause 61 of Magna Carta, I am a Commonwealth public official, a sworn officer of the Crown. I am telling you, ScoMo, and every Premier, you are under arrest for treason. So now you're attainted of treason. You think I can't do that? Yes, I can. I am going to put it in writing and put it to the House of Lords and put it to the High Court of England. You are under arrest. Means you must step down. It doesn't really matter to me whether you do or don't. No, I'm not a nut job. No, I don't have a mental condition. I've learnt the law. You should know the law. Under the provisions of Clause 61, I have that power. As of right now, you are under arrest for treason, misprision of treason, which is concealing it, treason under the Treason Felony Act, UK, which you're subject to because we're a self-governing colony of England. We are subject to every single imperial act. Only restriction is the authority granted by our Constitution, which binds the Crown in those areas. And that Constitution is a restraint on you, not us, you. We have a Bill of Rights, 1688 Bill of Rights, inherited. We are subjects of the Queen. Anyone who isn't naturalised as a British subject doesn't exist in this country. You're not a citizen, you're not a nothing until you go back and have that corrected. Doesn't mean I want to kick you out. It means I want you to go back and comply with our law, because you're not. And that goes for the idiot Van Stein that swore everybody in, including somebody in a black outfit. Now that black outfit, that doesn't fit with our society, but that's not my call, and I'm not going to ridicule that person. But who was that person? Says there's someone? So what? Who was it? We don't know. Now how many more have been sworn in like that? We don't know. So what is going on? It's treason. So you have a very nice day, all you premiers, all you members of COAG, and you especially, Scott Morrison, because I'm going to produce that letter. I'm going to put it out probably tomorrow, and when I've finished it I'm going to send mine away, but it is come out in PDF form, so it can't be changed, and everybody fill their name in and their address and send it to the High Court in England and the House of Lords, demanding, it's a letter of demand, that they come and rescue one of Her Majesty's realms, being the Commonwealth of Australia, the colony of the Commonwealth of Australia under Clause 8 of our Constitution. Don't say you wiped it out with the Australia Act. Where was a referendum for the Australia Act? Wasn't one. Doesn't exist. You're a liar. I'm telling the truth. You're a traitor as charged. You are charged. Now, let's see if the British courts and the House of Lords are going to uphold Her Majesty's law. Let's see. If they don't, so what? I've lost nothing. You lost nothing. If they do, bye, you morons are going to jail. Have a lovely day.